it's Carissa. I just wanted to film a quick video on making this card. It uses the new stamp sets from Stampin' Up. It's CircleCircus and Teeny Tiny Wishes. I really liked this color combination. I found it in the new Stampin' Up catalog, and so I wanted to try a little card using it myself. So here we go. First of all, when starting any card, I'm just going to give you some basics. Some of you may already know this, but if you take a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, and you can cut it in half either way and make a card, a size A2 card with it. So what I'm going to do is I have my trimmer marked at 5.5 so that I can easily find it. I'm going to cut it along the 11-inch side at 5.5, and this will give me my card base. So very easy to do. And then what I'll do, some people score theirs. I just go ahead and fold mine in half right here. And I like to use my bone folder just to give it a nice tight crease. And there is my card base. I'm just going to set that aside, and then I have this little piece of Old Olive Stampin' Up cardstock, and it's cut at 1 3/8 by 4 1/4. I'm just going to get my Sizzix Big Kick. It's kind of big, but I'm going to emboss this with these little circles. So I'm just going to stick it in here lengthwise. I'm going to kind of cover the span of 3 rows of circles, and I'm going to sandwich it in between my cutting plates and just emboss it. I kind of have it backwards for me here. I should have set it the other way, but it's really not this hard when you got it right. Okay, so that's all embossed. I'm going to pull it out. You can see the cute little circles embossed on there. So that's done. I can set that aside. Now I'm going to start my stamping. So I have a piece of white Ultra Smooth cardstock from Stampin' Up. I love their white cardstock more than any other that I've tried. And I'm going to start with my CircleCircus. This is Soft Suede by Stampin' Up. This is one of the new in colors. And I have the CircleCircus stamp that I'm just going to ink up. Stamp it here. There. I'm going to kind of leave this corner here empty because that's where I want to put my cinnamon. So I can set that color ink aside, grab my next stamp and my Old Olive Stampin' Up stamp pad, and stamp a few of these little Old Olive circles here. I work with a piece of scratch paper under my paper so that if it, I don't mess up my table or whatever I'm working on while I'm stamping, and I don't have to be so careful. Plus, I like the image to kind of bleed over the edge of the paper, not always be exactly with it, so that just protects my work surface. And then finally, I'm going to take the Pretty in Pink stamp pad, ink up this final one, and just stamp a few of these just to bring in the pink. This color combination really reminded me of like when little girls wear pink and camouflage together, so I thought it would be really cute. So now I have this corner empty, and I'm going to get my Teeny Tiny Wishes stamp set. This is new for from Stampin' Up. It's got tons. There are, I think, 24 stamps in here, and they're all for different occasions. So one says for your shower, Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day, Merry Christmas. There's birthday, there's friend to friend. So I'm just going to use this little birthday stamp here. And my Soft Suede stamp pad, ink it up. This is one of the only sets that I do not have unmounted, and the reason I chose to not mount it or not take it off the wood blocks is because the stamps themselves are so tiny and I really thought it would be tedious to do. So I went ahead and left that one on its wood blocks, but you'll see all my other stamp sets are unmounted, so I can use them on the acrylic blocks like this. I just have that preference so that I can store more in my stamp room that way. Then I just have a little piece of pink grosgrain ribbon here that I'm going to tie around. See if I can do this. When I made my practice card earlier, it was like the perfect knot, but chances are, since I'm filming now, that that's not going to happen. Just pulling it through here. It's really not as hard as I'm making it seem. Oh, look at that. My knot's pretty good. I'm going to scoot it down just a little bit, and then I'm going to just take my scissors, trim off the ends. You'll have to excuse my shaking hands. I hurt my arm yesterday, and I think I pinched a nerve or something, and so my hands are kind of shaking. So now that I have that portion of the card done, I'm going to take my soft suede cardstock, and this is cut at 2 3/4 by 4. I'm just going to adhere this down. So a lot of times you can just go right over the ribbon with your adhesive. I have an ATG gun. It actually goes over the ribbon a lot easier than my snail, but I didn't want to bring the ATG gun out. It's kind of big for the video. So there we go. I just mounted it on there. And then I'm going to mount this piece of Old Olive embossed cardstock right on the front of the card here. Sometimes these embossed pieces need a little more adhesive on them. They have a tendency to not want to stick. Now, this piece of Old Olive, just kind of eyeballing it here, is not going to cover the front of the card completely, and that's okay because this is going over the edge, so it's not really going to matter. So the final step is just to adhere this to the front of the card, and then you have yourself a cute little quick card, birthday card, and very easy. And in the credits I will put the measurements once again so that you can see them all laid out for you. There it is. Have a good day.
Acho que não vou deixar você sair da minha vida. Sei que você